I don't know about that. I suppose I just better just leave it right there. We can throw the bookmark in there and come back to it some other time. Thesis. Yeah, I suppose it may be. Yeah. I don't know. I like reading, and I like sharing the things that I've accumulated, and I like comparing, contrasting, and I guess peer reviewing these conclusions. I'm a big fan of the scientific method, what can I say? I don't know. I wouldn't think about it too terribly much. Besides, flies are a nuisance. It's our place in the world to decide what stays and what goes, am I not? Eminent domain, here. Bully and all good. With all the sarcasm in the world, of course, folks. All the sarcasm in the world. So yeah, I don't know if my mind has been changed, but it's certainly a nice record anyway. Remember? Music to change her mind. Okay, what shall we play next? This record says it has Gene Krupa on it, and I already like the sound of that. Shorty Rogers, too. And Teddy Wilson. Yeah. The Commodore Jazz Classics. It looks like some kind of amalgamation of different artists in a performance of sorts. Some town hall concert, I guess. That's what it says. Let's see. I'm curious when this record was pressed. It might be a reproduction, but I'm not quite sure. Let's see if it says so. Far too often they don't say what year it came out. Sometimes they're nice enough to write it, and then other people want to be difficult and write it in Roman numerals, and I'm like, okay, what is it again? Either way, you understand. Ooh, that's this record. Any Gucci Mane? Is that how I'm supposed to say that? Like a lion's mane? I don't think so, honey. I've heard of Gucci the brand. They make a bunch of stuff with tacky patterns that I couldn't wear with a single thing in my wardrobe. And then they've got the nerve to charge what they do for it. You can keep that stuff. But that's beside the point. No, sorry, honey, I haven't. No. I think you're asking me about stuff you know I'm not going to have or know about. That's just the impression I'm getting. Correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, that's funny. I heard about people doing that to flies. I've heard about people doing that. That's weird. Can't say I ever did that. Oh yeah, thermodynamics, of course. That's how I was trying to explain some of the weird noises in the wall in my bathroom. I was like, is there a leak back there, or is this just the sound of thermal expansion from the pipes heating up? You know, I'm not exactly an expert on it. I haven't read too deeply into that topic particularly, but I've read in other things that had to cover it in order to explain what I was learning about, so in a more vague sense, I think I'm aware of thermodynamics, yes. That's how refrigerators with the freezer on top are just a more efficient design. Because cold air goes down and it takes load off of the, I think it's like the generator or something like that. It takes load off of the equipment in order to use thermodynamics in its favor so it doesn't have to work as hard. That's one thing where I was particularly learning about thermodynamics, was studying about refrigerator efficiency. No, this isn't Gucci. This is some little number from off the rack, wash and wear kind of stuff. Most certainly isn't designer in any fashion of the sense, but I know I've seen a lot of those high fashion magazines reference things like this. Yes, Busta Rhymes does sound familiar, but I couldn't tell you what works he's done. I know he's an artist in the hip-hop scene. Probably a while ago, if I had to guess. It is not Gucci. I can assure you that this predates Gucci. I'm not sure when Gucci came out. I'm gonna guess I don't know. Coming to America in any particular sense, probably the 1970s, but it was probably largely an Italian company until then. I don't know if Gucci had any prominence earlier than that in the United States. He's a rapper? Okay. I kind of figured. A lot of the names kind of hinted in that direction, to be perfectly honest. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, no. Thank goodness I don't live over in Texas. It's a fine place to visit, but I really wouldn't want to live there. No matter the town. Paid plenty of visits to a lot of dusty little lonely oil towns with just a couple of old filling stations that still had the mobile sign with the winged horse. Pegasus, I think it's called in Roman mythology. Gucci's first U.S. store opened in 1953. Interesting. Founded in 1921. Not surprised. Not surprised. Well, excuse me if I hadn't looked into the entomology of Gucci particularly. I'm certainly no frequent of their department stores, I can tell you that. There's been little that I've seen by them that I liked, except for maybe a nice pair of shoes or something without a pattern on it. They always go and fall back on that pattern. I just don't like it. Same thing with the Burberry plaid. I'm already that color. If I were to wear that color, I would blend in. Clothing would blend into my complexion. Oh, golly. I am a woman of particular taste. You guys are the ones who said it was exquisite, not me. like jewelry. It doesn't have to be expensive to catch my eye. I just have a metal allergy, so I'm kind of forced to wear either silver or gold. I'm allergic to pretty much everything else, so... That's not a joke. My sister's got the same problem, but reverse. She's allergic to silver and gold, so she can only wear cheap jewelry. And I think, gee whiz, what a strange thing to be allergic to, huh? Metal? But why? Yeah. This is a jazz record with a lot of different artists on it. So, songs will change. Can't say I remember much around 88. I was busy being a baby. I have some imperfect diamonds in the tiara that I had when I was a kid. This is not, I don't have any other stuff with actual diamonds in it. But if I had some, I'd certainly wear it just about every single day. It's like I've said, these earrings, they're probably the most expensive jewelry that I have aside from the chain here. Sure. You want my social security number too? Hang on. Let me go get my high school yearbook while we're at it. You know, there are some people out there who wouldn't think that's as funny as I do. You're lucky I'm not one of those types. To be like, excuse me? But I respect the fact that you asked nicely. I mean, can't say you were disrespectful about it, that's for sure. I don't know. Both Lamborghinis and Ferraris are kind of odd cars to drive because of the way you're kind of stanced in the vehicle. Since the wheel well is right over there by your feet, every time that I've gotten into one, it's always felt like I'm driving going sideways. So, I don't really like... I'm not partial to either one. I feel like the Lotus really did the Italian wedge car much more tastefully. And then everyone else just kind of jumped on the bandwagon. I like the early Lotus, the 70 to 71. Can't not remember what it's called. Well, good night, dearie. Thanks for stopping by. Rather you stop in briefly than not at all. I don't know, that does kind of sound familiar. It's pretty angular, the way I recall it. And it has some very nice rims and thick tires. It's very sporty. Oh yeah, I would leave it just the way it is. It doesn't need a flux capacitor. I think it looks fine right out of the factory. But I don't know. The car's got other kind of curb appeal. I don't need a whole bunch of fanboys stopping over to compliment my car. I'd rather car enthusiasts come over and talk about my car rather than movie enthusiasts. As much as I do love that movie. I mean, perfectly honest, if I saw a DeLorean, I'm gonna go look at it. I'm certainly gonna look at it. Oh yeah, that Lexus? Yes, that's exactly the one that I want. I keep calling it either like the 300 or 400, but yeah, that's exactly what I want. If I were to trade up for a newer car with more modern safety equipment and amenities like electric windows and, oh, I don't know, heat and air. I don't have those. I wouldn't want to buy a car from any guy who's soupy. That sounds like an alias. Oh yeah, you know Soupy always stops into the bar around this time for his usual sip of the creature. Oh, how's life, Soupy? A Crown Victoria is a nice luxury car, and it's a very practical car, too. Oh, it has holes in the roof? Wow. You must be joking. Nobody would be foolish enough to drive a car with holes in the roof. No, no heat, no air. There's an option to allow the heat from the engine into the car, but it used to have it, but the car needs repair. That darn car needs everything. It just needs to be completely taken apart and rebuilt. The engine is a fine engine, though. Runs like a dream. Purrs like a kitten. And it should, because we've doted on it and spent money on it. All the other things, I've just kind of toughed it without it. I wear a coat. Yeah, it does that. It'll use the heat from the engine to warm the car, but it doesn't have any ability to make heat on its own, if that makes sense. So yeah, in the wintertime it's pretty rough. Oh, I don't want to sacrifice comfort for classic style. I don't. We were just talking about how I want that Lexus. It's a mid-90s car. If I had my preference, I would get the later one. And it's pretty modern, considering all the things it has. Even though it is pretty old, but, you know, it's light years ahead of what I'm driving. What? What do I need for what do I want? Oh, definitely need a new car. But I'm working on that. Slowly but surely. I'll get there. I don't know. I suppose if I had a lot of money to use on a Tesla, it would make sense because there's tax breaks for it, depending on what state you're living in. And I suppose if I could just kind of, you know, bite the bullet and accept the fact that that's not a very stylish car, in my opinion. I don't like the way it looks very much. You know, I could get over myself. I just don't have that kind of finance. Chrysler Sebring? What year? Nicole Tesla. That's funny. You guys. That's why I like having you around. You see it when I don't. If I miss it, you'll find it. That's a good one. Oh, what am I driving? I get you, I get you. A 1986 Oldsmobile. It's two-door, navy blue, velour bench seats. No airbags. Front-wheel drive, 6-cylinder. Don't ask me about the liters. Oldsmobile 98. No. Yeah. No, my car is older than me. I was born in 88. It's from 86. Well, Eating that kind of stuff, you knew what was coming next. You have sown the wind, and you will indeed reap the whirlwind. Oh, you're in for it. It's okay. Arithmetic wasn't my proclivity either. For me, it was more language arts, grammar, the liberal arts. On music, a little bit. I was pretty fair with the recorder. Oh, that's fascinating. I would gladly give one of my powers for one of those. Mathematics is far more valuable than some of the other skills I'm proficient in. So, it's just one of those things where it's like, well, darn. I suppose if I had the time and the money, I'd take some tutoring classes and catch up on some lost education. Probably in a better state of mind to learn that kind of thing now anyway. No. Thank you, dearie. Well, welcome to this humble little station I'm running here. I'm glad you're enjoying it so far, and I appreciate the compliment. My sound system? Yeah, I'm pretty fond of it too. It's taken years to really get it to where it is. But I haven't had the need to really make a major change to its orientation in, I'd say, about 6 years or so. I have 4 speakers. I have the ability to play in stereo, but a lot of my records don't even have that. They're not even stereo recorded records, so it wouldn't make much difference if I were to turn it onto the stereo option, but it is there. If I listen to records after the 1960s, then we can listen to it in full stereo. Oh yeah, I have a pretty cheap stylus. This was, I think, $12, not including the shipping. And one of these days I'm gonna throw a little bit more money at it because it's a very nice record player. And a fair amount of my records are worth investing in, like in the sound quality. But I wouldn't go too far. Something modest. But I bought a cheap one because I was still troubleshooting this record and I needed something because it didn't come with one. Luckily, it has the serial number of the kind of stylus it takes stamped right underneath the tone head. What? Ah, you're from Spain, huh? Well, hello there. Welcome to the chat. Good evening to you, or good morning, most likely, depending on your positioning near the prime meridian. here, this counter, the Formica counter. Yeah. Yeah, this is still the one I was using to troubleshoot the record player. I'd rather put my money into buying more records than buying a better needle. It's kind of, you know, in a far better situation, I would just buy all of them. Buy the needle and all the records that I've wanted. There's so much that I want. If I were to make out a list of records that I desire for, it'd be a long list, and I'd have to do some rearranging in order to fit them. I'd probably have to move the video cassettes into some other room. Oh, that's okay. If English is not your first language, don't worry. I've worked with plenty of people who don't communicate in English, and I usually get the idea. I'll be straight with you. Can you still pirate movies these days? Is that what it's called when you find them online for free? Because if that's what that is, I do that all the time. That's how I watched Rollerball. That was a strange movie. Oh yeah, that's why I get on early, if I can. I like to warm up so that way when the jokers come on here, you know, I can wheel them and deal them just like they can. So, it's fun. I appreciate the whole sport of it, to some degree. But just, my God, man, I wish they would have a little more style. Oh well. Everyone's a critic. The wine? It's about this close to happening because I was thinking about buying either a bottle of rosé or champagne. And then, of course, sharing that experience with you guys because whom else shall I party with these days but my newly found friends? Not like anyone else is gonna come over. But, soon enough. I've been so busy lately, I haven't been much in the party mood. Perhaps this weekend, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Oh yeah? Think I haven't been around the block a time or two? Nice try, big boy. My Italian, yeah. More specifically, Sicilian, but for all intents and purposes, yes. As well as a few other things, come to find out. I'm more of a mutt than I realized. Boy, does that put things in perspective. Oh yeah? I'd rather not go around the block. I'm quite content right here. Thank you. The block has been traversed. I am uninterested in the block. No. Yes. Grandparents, great-grandparents. That's usually how lineage works, is they kind of pass the whole thing down. They're Italian, ergo vis-a-vis. I am thusly part Italian somewhat. I'm not pure. Nobody's pure. And I'm not even that closely linked to my lineage. A lot of the Italian family members that I'm in touch with, they're very Americanized. Very much so. Our descendants came over and landed on Ellis Island sometime in the 19-teens. 1918, 1919, I think it was. And opened up a few Italian grocery stores down there in the Italian district where you immigrants are supposed to stay, apparently. One of those long blocks of tenement houses, all made of brick, all have that stoop going up. But at the time, that was all fairly new, because it wasn't even 20 years ago that the streets were either cobblestone or not paved at all. So I got rid of those shanties and turned it into tenement buildings. Followed the 2 to 3 story building structure for a long, long time, till at least, I'd say, post-war. Was when architecture really started going off in leaps and bounds, but that got it started in Germany with the whole, like, you would call it mid-century modern at the time, but at the time it was just modern. It was modern minimalist movement that started with those people in Germany who immigrated over here because of the war and had influence here in America. Took off even more, and that's where you get those, I guess, standardized 1950s homes with the open floor plan, the large windows, and the, I guess, eccentric little details that you would have, like half walls and things like that. Those little decorative dividers made of cast iron, wood, whatever you would what have you. But that all got started a long, long time ago. It's fun stuff. I'm very interested in architecture, especially around the time of the Industrial Revolution. That's when things really get interesting. Unless we're focusing on Elizabethan and Victorian styles. But the Tudor is a pretty interesting time period as well, with those large beams and kind of pasted stucco houses. All utterly fascinating. Fascinating. Well, if I got a certified degree in teaching, yeah, I guess I could probably do something with my life other than converse with you fine folks. With it is just as gratifying. Well, maybe not as gratifying, but it has its perks. No, never heard of that person. Never heard of that person. I remember us talking about Tony Hawk's before. Well, certain Germans did. I don't know if we're talking about the same Germans. These are peace-loving folk who wanted nothing more than to mind their business and tend to their craft. And then things got a little hot under the collar, so they went to, I guess, greener pastures, where things panned out quite well for them. Much like Mr. von Braun and a few others. The founder of the university. Is that his first name, Robert? Because I know of a university that goes by that name, and I'm just wondering if they're one and the same. Yeah, it certainly was something special. And a lot of that modern stuff really got started over there at that time. And then it came here, and it took off. People loved it. It started a trend. Everyone copycatted it. And by the late 1960s, it was, I guess, getting a little overdone. Oh, golly. It's been a long time since I've heard his lyrics, but I could do with just a few more years. Thank you. I remember a time before Kurt Cobain, and then I remember he was unescapable, and then he had to go off and do some attention-grabbing thing like dying. And then now, ever since then, everyone just wants to sanctify him. I'm not going to upset anybody, but I'll keep my comments to myself. Oh, you're studying English? It's a tricky language. It makes rules and then it goes and breaks them again. I suppose it's more about just simple memorization and then recollection rather than actually using the rules to deduce anything. Because like I said, it breaks its own gosh darn rules. Oh, looks like the speed came out of calibration a little bit. Give me but a moment. Let's see. It's fine now. Oh well, never mind. I'm hesitant to play Doris Day now because I've gotten some bad reviews on poor Doris. I'm quite fine with her work. Some people out there are not fans at all. They don't like my Dory. Oh well. I'll just take it easy on her for a while. Let the heat die down, for God's sake. Oh gosh. Here we go. Right as rain. It's you, isn't it? Oh gosh. Sheesh. Everyone's a critic. Yeah, here we go. You know, that's the unfortunate part, is that his music didn't exactly grow on me when it came out. Oh. And now that happened, nobody can stop talking about the fella. Ugh. Extra spicy, huh? Well, I mean, the skirt is a little shorter, but not too terribly much. Thank you, though. Thank you. I wasn't quite sure about this little number at first, because you can't try anything on anymore. So I was like, well, I guess we'll find out when I put it on. I thought to myself, well, it's okay. It's pretty good with me. No complaints. I like my other one better, though. The red, black, and white one. But it's a little heavy for this time of year. Oh yeah, he seemed like a nice guy. This is the problem is sometimes that with, you know, popularity and fame like that, some of us out there who are not fans by the, you know, by the look of the draw, we've got to tolerate their fame. Tough on us though. Tough cookies. Just thinking out loud. A spicy Chick-fil-A sandwich. Of all of the drive-thru food, I'd say that that's probably the only one that I like the most. All that other stuff, you can keep it. That's a pretty tasty sandwich. Pretty classy for the drive-thru. I mean, if you rip the chicken in half, it's actual chicken, and it's not like some kind of chicken puree. Oh, yes. A delicious multi-chicken breaded puree. Flash frozen and ready to go. Yum. Serving it to you hot, fresh, and ready. I remember those 1990s chicken nuggets at McDonald's. Oh my god. Ugh. Ugh. I will never forget them. So gross. So gross. Chicken is something that's so cheaply produced and readily available. Why are you pureeing chicken? What is wrong with you? Are you the psychopathic Dr. Frankenstein of food? I know. It's like this close to Soylent Green, for goodness sake. Chicken puree. Really? Yes. You could make a chicken smoothie. Oh god, I'm getting sick. I need a glass of water. That is a revolting notion. Yeah, you could stick a nice little Dixie cup under there. Get yourself some uncooked chicken puree. That sounds divine. Give me that and a little wooden spoon. Yummy in my tummy. You will never see such reflexive and instantaneous projectile vomit as if you were to put that in front of me. I would show you a thing or two about revolt. Ew. I don't remember writing that. Does it? Why don't you tell me? The spicy Soylent. Yes. I mean, those movies are just a slight embellishment or dramatization, if you will, of those kinds of things. We find ourselves increasingly so in a stranger and stranger world that scratching the surface reveals unusual and in some cases even horrifying things. Things that you would think of hearing about in some kind of nightmarish novel. I don't know how to play chess. An invisible mod? No. Do I? I don't remember having one. Soylent? It's from the movie Soylent Green. It's quite a good watch for a B movie. You know, the plot plays out pretty well and the action is so, you know. It's kind of a slow movie by today's standards, but nonetheless, if you got a rainy day to burn up, it's a good way to do it. If you're like me and you appreciate a good B movie. I really got into them because of, well, B movies being so ubiquitous. And then when I saw Mystery Science Theater, I was like, okay, I see the value in this. I see the value in a bad movie. I was thinking about it all wrong. I was here to be indulged in the storyline. I should be here to laugh at the storyline. It is missed the point altogether. Yeah, I know. See, back in the old days, we used to go to the picture show or the movies, the theater. What's for dinner tonight? Haven't given it a moment's thought. I don't know. I'll have to see what we've got lying around. I might make some corned beef hash and scrambled eggs. And if I can scrounge up some bread, I'll toast it lightly and we'll just make a delicious mess. How about that? Maybe I'll get more creative as the night goes on, but if I had to make something right now, I'd probably just do that. Either that or Spam. Mm-hmm. I like my scrambled eggs. Oh yeah. I've still got to figure out a recipe for you guys so I can do a cooking stream. That'll be fun. You want me to make a Spam sandwich or to fry it up or something like that? We can do that. That can be done. I usually avoid doing that because I don't want to bore you guys with something like war rations. If I'm going to make some kind of quick instant food, I would probably go for gelatin. It at least has some color to it. Ooh, I never thought about putting onions. I found out that they have a turkey version, so I got that one, and, well, I'm going to give it a try. Oh, I don't know. Why is it called that? No, I don't think I've heard that Monty Python skit about Spam, unfortunately. Yeah, he very well might. Yeah, well, most often the cooking stream is me just making something really quick. Don't worry, I'll get involved with you guys. I'll find something that's really worth watching. That's nothing remarkable. It's more for sustenance than for show. Oh, I really was expecting that to be hilarious or something. I have absolutely no idea why it's called that. That's a fantastic question. That's more of a question for, I suppose, an internet historian, if there is yet such a thing. Cheesecake? I don't think I've ever made a cheesecake before. I haven't made a cheesecake. I've made flan. No cheesecake. Cheesecake is very good. It's very rich, but it's very delicious. I've often enjoyed it whenever I've gone out to eat. It's usually the dessert of choice whenever we're out. Cheesecake topped with some kind of candied fruit. Blueberries, strawberries. There was one time there was candied peaches on top of a cheesecake. My day? My day was pretty uneventful. I stuck around. I hung around in my bathrobe until I think about 1:20 in the afternoon, and then I got dressed finally, made myself presentable, and I cooked, let's see, I think I made some bread. Bread and jam. Haven't eaten since, though. And we got on the topic of food, unfortunately, and now I'm realizing I'm a bit peckish. What else gave off my appetite for at least another hour or two? Mm. Oh, yeah, sure. He's involved in organized crime, and I'm just going to tell you all about it. Shirley, Shirley. Mm. Well, yeah, let me tell you about the one time. Or I could take it in a different direction. My daddy says you better give me the part in the play or else. He says he's gonna cut your pet's head off and put it in your bed. I feel like my other impression earlier was better. Is that more along the lines of what you were thinking? Nah, I don't know if I want to drink any more coffee. I think I've had plenty of that for one day, but food perhaps, soon enough. I wonder if we have any peanut butter left over. I think we finished that off long, long ago. Who could blame them? Yep, total mob boss. Red-handed. I don't think that there should ever be such a thing as leftover sushi. That's something that needs to be eaten rather quickly. For best results. You're already dancing with the devil by eating raw meat and leaving it sitting around. There really should be no such thing as leftover sushi. Those are some dangerous words. I'm caffeinated, that's what it is. I warned you guys earlier that I'm in rare form tonight. Haha, yes. Grumpy because of my empty tummy. That's surely what it is. No, I've just been really energetic all day long. I've been like that since I woke up. Since my feet hit the floor. As far as I know, no, it isn't. But if somebody threw a few cow tongues in there, I don't think I would notice. I don't think I'd mind either. I went to a Mexican restaurant and had it. They chop it up and cook it just like any other meat, and they serve it in soft taco form. It's quite an experience. Surprisingly delicious too. You should try it. Beef tongue. Told you I've had some weird food. There's always time for jokers. It's part of the fun. Oh, you want a reading on the barometer, eh? Oh, do you? You like the rare form, huh? Yeah. More like Biddy Page tonight. Let's see. Well, I had it marked over here and it's gone down since then, so I suppose that would indicate the coming of rain? Yeah, totally. Oh. It's just been hanging there ever since our last stream. Quite honestly, I don't really even know how to read the darn thing. I haven't looked into it. Oh yeah, baby. Moistening up real rapidly. Let me tell you what. I know the brand J.C. Higgins. They made my bicycle. So, I know that they're a company like Sears that was the purveyor of lots of different things. I'm glad you know who she is. I don't know if I quite reached to such lofty heights, but certainly one can muse, can't one? Hmm? That is a little tidbit of fascination right there. Thank you for that. It's a good tip. What is all this business about a modern test card? What does that mean? What does that mean? Does Gucci use this pattern or something and I just have missed the memo? I didn't catch that fax. Didn't get that on my beeper. Nobody hipped me to that dude. Oh, goodness gracious me. You're a lot of fun. What's that? Oh, okay. So this is some kind of performance. Is it a movie? Or this is something that I have overlooked for sure. Buddy. Who? Buddy Rich. That kind of rings a bell. Oh, I get you. I was watching Doctor Strangelove to remind me of why it's my favorite movie. It's pretty funny. It still makes me laugh after so many times of watching it. You'd think I'd get sick of it by now, but I don't. I was watching a lot of movies before Twitch came into my life. I was watching a heck of a lot of movies. That's why I was watching strange things like I watched Soylent Green and I finally understood, oh, okay, this is that movie I've heard about. And Logan's Run. Unexpectedly entertaining for I guess, a dated sci-fi film. Oh, yeah? Oh, I love every performance in that film. It's hysterical. It's one laugh after another. He was a drummer. Interesting. Goodness gracious, there's so many things I want to know about. And there's not enough time in the day. Certainly have piqued my interest, somewhat. Contact with Jodie Foster and what's his name? Was Gary Busey the preacher guy? Is that who that was? The guy who tried to blow up he did blow up the very first contraption. Do I remember that correctly? Oh yeah, I definitely played the piano. I've been self-taught. You must have seen it in the background. You must have. There's no way you could just guess like that and get it right on the nose. Unless you did, in which case I'd be very shocked and I'd have to congratulate you. Oh yeah? Okay, so you're just really talented at guessing. A talented guesser. One might even guess clairvoyant. Well, you've got my shock and awe. Yeah. Scary good, actually. Scary good. Oh, good morning to you. It's evening here where I'm at. But good morning. Top of it. How are you? Did you sleep well? He played Animal in the Muppets? That's funny, I didn't know that. I always thought that Animal was funny. I remember him doing Wipeout. I'm fine, mighty fine. Today was a swell day. Took it nice and easy. Stuck around in my house coat and my night dress until about 1:20, and then I got dressed and, went about the rest of my slow day. We are doing much of the same. We're catching up with one another since I haven't been around in 2 days. And we're chit-chatting while listening to music. And I've been on the butt end of a few jokes tonight, which is making it particularly funny. So, it's getting interesting as the night progresses, for sure. Pull up a seat, hun. Oh, you like my dress, huh? Good Christian values, eh? Sure, sure. Absolutely. Total choir girl. Daddy's little princess. Naive, grew up on a farm, loves horses. That kind of thing? Am I painting a vivid picture for you? Let me get Norman Rockwell in here to really do it properly. Oh yeah. Paint you a nice big sunshine and a few little trees right over here. You like rare form? Oh yeah, if you can't laugh at yourself, you're in for a rough ride, baby. Life is gonna make a joke out of you whether you like it or not, even when you plan for it, so I wouldn't fight the feeling. Better learn to laugh along with. No, I never took tap dancing lessons. I dabbled in gymnastics and I took a few horseback riding lessons for 2 summers straight, and tennis was what I mostly did when I was a teen. Now, my sports are bowling and roller skating. Those are the things that I enjoy recreationally. A little more simple pleasures. You like my earrings? Well, thank you, doll. They were a gift. I appreciate that. I really do. Oh yeah, if you like a loop, you came to the right place. We usually talk ourselves right back into a circle where we came from, so come on down. Nothing much to do, just got some time to kill. The utensils that you use for the whole skating process, rollerblades are more popularly known as inline skates. That was the brand that I guess popularized them, but yeah. Pretty sure that skating is the old-fashioned kind and blading is the wheels in alignment, which provides a lot of maneuverability and I guess added speed as well. Stability, but I'm partial to the older ones. Besides, I'm not much of a fancy trickster anyway. I'm just along for a bit of a, ooh, I'm skating. Oh yeah, you gonna trim the hedges? You gonna clean the gutters too, or are you not feeling that crazy? Crazy enough to pick some weeds and sticks? The yard's not gonna do itself. With what? With a balloon? Well, isn't that cute? Did you have a little propeller hat on too? That's just adorable. Well, well, well. Might as well have had a sucker in the other hand, too. That's just the most precious thing I've heard in a while. Of course I'm kidding, hon. Of course I'm kidding. Oh, goodness. Don't worry. I'll catch a joke here and there. I just couldn't pass up the opportunity. Mm-hmm. Grease the power washer. Oh, yeah. Make sure you drain the line, too, before you put it away. Wouldn't want that casting to crack during winter time. You know, it's a pain to find replacement parts at the hardware store. Mm. Safe practice is best practice. Oh goodness, you can't even see my face. Oh well. You guys don't behave, I'm gonna put on Doris Day. Okay. Here, let's put on a Percy Faith record. Everyone loves good old Percy Faith. He's pretty hip. Hip with the kiddos. Like 1960. Ooh. Here we go. Well, you don't have to listen. You can just mute it if you don't like it. You sour, stick in the mud, you wet blanket, you. Sourpuss, can I say that? Of course I can, it's my stream. I don't troll people. I don't troll people ever. It's dishonest. As funny as it can be. I'll tell you, I've been versed in it. I hung out with Mr. King Troll himself, Bobby Roberts. Should have met that guy. You would have loved him. Especially in the context of 10, 15 years ago. Oh boy. I want to talk about edgy. I don't know if that stuff flies as well as it used to, but it still makes me laugh. All too often, it seems like people want to take offense rather than just take a joke. Yeesh. Oh well. Edging? Pop punk? Like Debbie Harry and the band Blondie? When you say pop punk, that's what I think of. Stuff that really gets close to new wave. If you know what I mean. If they still call it new wave. I guess not anymore. It's not new. Oh yeah, it's a good song. Blondie is awesome. Her name is Debbie Harry. Blondie is named after Hitler's dog, or so I was once told. And I thought to myself, like, oh, well, that's edgy, alright. Leave it to a punk band to name their band after Hitler's dog. Oh, are we witching? I'm gonna leave that joke untouched. In another universe? Interesting theory. I don't know if that holds true with old Einstein's theory of relativity, but it's certainly an interesting concept. Maybe Twilight Zone would be interested in this bilateral universal concept. Sounds interesting, like I said. On occasion. But only to be cool, but I never inhale. Just like our great president, I don't inhale. Seems like a responsible, honest guy. Can't see him doing anything wrong. I don't know the gender of Hitler's dog. It's something that's more of just kind of a rumor, maybe even an urban legend. I'm not sure if it's true or not. It's something I heard when I was a kid. I was like, Blondie. Is that her? They're like, oh no, that's not her name. That's the name of the band. Oh, well, she's blonde, so I kind of thought. I just read it. Give me some time. I'm pretty slow at chat reading. Chill. I try. It's true. I do miss a chunk of it, especially if I get off talking. So, I need to learn to walk and chew bubble gum. Oh yeah? Well, only to be cool. Not for any other reason. Yeah, I'll level with you. I do. I have a lot of energy and it keeps me pretty well balanced. Oh yeah, there's a thin cloud of smoke sitting in the middle of the room here, about eye level, a little bit above eye level. It's pretty nice in here, I have to say. Got my own atmosphere. Who knows? Might even rain in here too. Let's check that moisture. Oh, am I right now? Fairly. Fairly. It's a joke. I'm making fun of Richard Nixon. You remember when he said that before, when he was asked if he's ever tried grass? And he said, once, but I didn't inhale. And that's hilarious because, for obvious reasons. And that's why I find personal amusement in saying that. It's because it's a ridiculous thing to say. It's absolutely asinine. He totally did it, and he got so effed up he probably said something retarded. Definitely pretty under the influence, I must say. Kind of is the point. It kind of is. That's why it's a funny thing to say. Is it a what? I'm sorry, I don't understand your question. That's pretty fantastic. Way to go for him. I'm really not surprised. He seems like a very intelligent person. So I would imagine he was very qualified. That's pretty cool. That's very cool. I always like hearing good news like that, especially with people I know. Oh yeah, I do have hobbies. I do. I used to work on bicycles. I used to sand them down and prime and paint them. And then, of course, restore them mechanically. Get all the rust off the chromium and polish them up. The bicycles that I have left are the ones that I liked the most. That I found it impossible to part with. That's why I have a boy's bike. Is because I just thought it was so attractive, so pretty for a bike. Once I had fixed it all up, I was like, well, maybe I'll ride it around just a little bit. Oh yeah, I like this outfit. This is actually, I guess it works pretty well with my complexion. That's more of the reason why I chose it. I'm not creating any metaphors. I don't know what you mean. Thank you, darling. I thought so too. I thought so too. And I can't tell if the pattern is black and white or blue and white. I'm pretty sure it's black and white, but either way, I went in a blue direction because I wanted to. Well, thank you. It fits alright. The other one flares out a little bit more. This one's a little bit more straight. And of course the other one's a little shorter too. And it has more of like a V shape rather than this having more of like a U shape. But I like them both. This one zips in the back, the other one zips under the arm. You've asked me two strange questions, both of which I've been asked in a similar order. The webcam and the what year it is. What year do you think it is? Oh, I never really thought about it. I didn't judge it at all. I figured it was probably the year you were born or something like that. Of course. I can see everything that you guys are saying. A bunch of very astute comments. Some of the finest people in this establishment, I must admit. Oh, I'm glad you got the pressure washer ready. I'm sure you'll have a lot of ease now using it when you're doing the whatever it is you're doing. Hello, Jello. How are you? It's evening here. How is your night going so far? Oh, that's a barometer. This is barometric pressure. This is relative humidity, and this is a temperature. Oh, I love cats. No boyfriend, not married, no children. And a spotless police record, too. Rolled through a stop sign when I was 17. That was the last time I tampered with the law. I'm still determining whether or not this part is accurate. It certainly does things. It moves on its own accord, but I'm still deducing whether or not it's accurate. I have to figure it out. Oh yeah, superb indeed. I've behaved. I mostly stay inside too. I'm glad you like the music. It's some of the records that I'm the fondest of are these easy listening records. No, I haven't taught myself to read sheet music. I have just played by ear most of my life. I wasn't too keen on learning sheet music. I feel like I'd do better without it, honestly. You smile throughout our time? That's a beautiful thing to say. That's probably the best compliment I've ever been paid. I'm so happy to hear that. Well, I'll continue to provide the same kind of content for sure, because this is what I've been doing my whole life. I play the piano. I had tried my hand at the harmonica and the mandolin, but nothing really quite stuck like those, the ivory and, ebony keys. So beautiful. Just comes so naturally. I suppose it's the way they're all laid out, really. That helps with my form of cognition. I've been streaming about a month and 2 or 3 weeks, tops. Not sure exactly. Oh, big hug to you, hon. That was a super sweet thing to say. I'm so pleased to hear that. I think everyone has some fun with this, whether it's, just sitting back and relaxing or at my expense. I like it. I like that we're able to provide a fun and casual atmosphere in a semi-respectful adult environment. It's pretty good that we're a self-governing body here. Quite proud of that. Oh, I've always wanted to do some kind of a talk show or be a reporter. I love being social. So, when somebody told me all about Twitch, after I brought that kind of thing up in casual conversation, I pondered it for a few weeks and thought, that does sound pretty fun. What would I do, though? And then I thought, why not just do what I normally do on the weekends? Just relax, talk, and listen to music. Turns out it's a hit. People like it. The star factor. What does that mean? What's the star factor? That sounds really space age. Oh, I'll be 33 in May. It means I could be a celebrity. From your mouth to God's ears. Golly, I would wish for so. That'd be quite nice. I look 23. Oh, because that's about the time when I started a very healthful regimen. Exercise, stretching, plenty of rest. Sorting out your issues in a mature fashion. It all results in happiness. So, I think that's kind of the key, is like a lot of different things. It's not one particular thing. Or I could just be lucky. Who knows? We'll never know. I can't help but be honest. I'm a terrible liar. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. I always get caught, because my face gives me away. I can joke around, but that's about as close as I can come. Yeah, that's cool. Supernova and black hole. Well, what's the old saying go in the rock and roll scene? I'd rather burn out than fade away, man. Hippies. Such pretty music, don't you think? What are you yelling about lyrics? What are you talking about? What do I do on my days off? Before this? Oh goodness. Ah. Of course, it is a good day, hun. It is very good. Don't know what string theory is, please. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry that you can't give bits. We only have a humble dusty tip jar. That's all. This is for fun. I don't know what you mean by a shoot. Is that more slang than Nicole needs to be taught about? Oh yeah, this is the non-lyrics. We'll play the other one if you want to. It's the one with his face on it. I think. Sorry, I didn't catch on. Oh, you're back? Good, I'm glad you're back. Where did you go again? You went to go do something? To eat, I think? Oh, it is indeed a beautiful day. That's a pretty current occupation. That's something that's emerged within the past, what, 20 years? I have watched a lot of David Lynch's work and I have enjoyed most of it. A lot of it is kind of strange. Which one are you talking about? Blue Velvet was pretty weird. It's definitely worth a watch though. It's a good one. I'm not so sure about the whole Fire Walk With Me thing. But the show, Twin Peaks, is kind of nice. I had a friend come over, he was like a really big into David Lynch, and he educated me. Boy, I'll tell you. He was like, I have every single movie. I'll let you borrow them if you want to. I'm like, sure, you say they're really good, so I'll watch them all. And one by one, I watched just about everything he's done. I don't remember most of it, but I remember a fair bit. It is a little tight. To be perfectly honest, it is a little tight up here. Thank you for noticing. The red room. Yeah. With the chevron floor. You betcha. The little man's is right down the hall. Yeah. Yeah, I like it. I certainly like how he does his movies in a very, well, hard for me to put my finger on it, but there's something very familiar about what he does. I like it. The aesthetic, if you will. I don't know what that stands for. No, I have not pursued a degree. I would like to just as soon as I get a few things around here shorn up. I certainly do have adult education on the mind. I was thinking perhaps, if not teaching, then law. You know. I wouldn't want anything that's not accredited, though. Oh yeah, that's how What's-His-Face from the band In Excess died. That's what he was doing. You've watched everything I've done on the strings? Really? No way. Things around the house. The house needs repair and cleaning. More pertinent issues, I suppose. Where did I go? Well, the first day I was absolutely exhausted, and then the second day, an event came up, and I became very preoccupied. By the time that I had any free time, I was far too tired to indulge you. So I had to make the regrettable decision of foregoing our usual stream. It wasn't a decision I made lightly, but I figured, like I always say, you deserve me at my best. So therefore, I'm not going to rob you of that experience. I'll just get some rest and then show up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed the next day. Oh, it's not interesting. It's nothing worth going over. It's just things, you know, sometimes things happen. That's an interesting guess. Combine the two words. It's just one of those things, you know, just daily occurrences. Just a minor inconvenience is all. Nothing really worth focusing on. Oh no, there are still indeed cobwebs. Witchcraft? What on earth do you take me for? Some kind of debutante? A deviant? Some kind of... No. I don't practice witchcraft. Oh, hey, look at you. Thank you. That's awfully sweet of you. You want a seance, huh? Oh, I'll keep being me, alright. You keep being you, too. Awfully sweet. We're not having a seance. Listen to the man. Can't you tell? Can't you tell that me and Anton LaVey are like this? I go down there and he teaches me organ lessons every once in a while. Have you heard his record? Lots of carny music. But it's all fun stuff, good and plenty. Makes the darn thing sound like a calliope. So, reminds you of the fair. Corn dogs, clowns, and, you know, rides that are shoddily assembled. Fun stuff. I was unaware that Jell-O went anywhere. I often make gelatin whenever I used to have company over. It's stuff for people to nibble on. I don't care if they eat it or not. Costs nothing to make. I don't know why you're so interested in what happened anyway. Insurance will take care of everything. What on earth? Well, I don't know if I'd use the word serious. Maybe significant. Oh, yes, do what thou wilt. Oh, yes, good friends. Alex de Crowley. God rest his soul. You want me to tell you? You really want to hear the boring old news? I don't think you'll find it very interesting. Really? I'll tell you. If it's that important to you, I'll tell you. I'll take the Fury all day long. But I would love to see how they would both compete on the straightaway. I got T-boned the other day when I was driving out of my neighborhood, okay? I did everything just right, and some little 17-year-old boy T-boned me right behind the passenger, or right behind the driver door. Yeah. The axle's bent and everything. I'm nervous about driving the poor old car. You see, we've had that car since 1994. A little bruise on my left knee. I guess my knee hit the steering column when he spun me around. I wound up facing the direction I was coming from. I think I've got the modding under control, thank you, especially with some as low number as 18 people. Not too terrible. I don't know what the kid is gonna do. All is good. Just, you know, a little shaken, not stirred. Good old Nicole still lives to stream another day. Just, you know, after the experience, I was a little tuckered out, so I decided to catch some Z's, and that's why I woke up so refreshed this morning. I didn't waste any time getting to sleep. Yeah, sure. I got T-boned in my car. That's usually how that works, right? Oh goodness. Well, I mean, if you're spreading the word or doing some free advertising for me that I don't know about, then that's mighty swell. But I don't know if I'm the biggest thing on Twitch. I'm not doing anything. I'm just talking to you guys like you're human beings. Which you are. I would assume that this would be everyone doing this. The police report has not processed yet. It takes anywhere from 3 to 5 business days, and it has been 2. I'll keep you posted on all of that fun, juicy, legal details. Vapes? Like vapors? Do you mean humidifiers? I don't need a humidifier. I'm in perfect health. How would I describe my personality? I wouldn't describe my personality because It's complicated, and I don't want to sound vain, so it's just best to just let people discover it if they so wish. Go on, I'm an open book. No, my car's in the driveway. It's somewhat drivable, but I'm wondering about how the titanium rims have held up against the crash since I was pushed. I don't know if the metal is compromised, and I don't want to be driving down the street when the wheel flies off and then be involved in another collision. Inviting with a hint of spooky? That's cool. Some people find me very creepy, and they'll come onto the stream. I don't know why. I'm doing stuff that I don't find out of place at all, but I'm glad you like it. You want to hug me and get to know me? You can stick around. You know, the sentiment of wishing you could hug me is definitely well appreciated. I had to hug the guy that hit me. He was so distraught over the whole thing. I was ready to start, you know, using choice words, but then I saw he was a kid and that he was very shaken. I was like, are you gonna be okay, honey? Poor guy. He was trembling. He got me all choked up seeing him like that. I'm glad you've warmed up to me. I guess sometimes when I speak softly, it can put people off. You think I'm hot as hell? That's awesome. That's very well appreciated. Well, hey, everyone's a first timer sometime. Gotta start somewhere. Yeah. Well, thanks, Robert Ford. That's really cute. Just about as creepy as a bunny rabbit. Well, thank you. Because I have to stretch my mind to really get it, to understand where they're coming from. I was always picked on for being very non-threatening. Kids thought it was strange. Oh yeah, you can go let him know. That's permissible. Oh yeah, he hit me without hitting the brakes. He hit the brakes after he hit me. No, I was not going to chop his head off like a praying mantis. I had forgotten until you said that they do that. Thank you for reminding me. Oh yeah, it takes a lot of effort to be nice to people when, especially they're not doing anything to deserve it. It's usually the better strategy though, because best not play into people's hands like that. Often enough, that's what they want, whether they realize it themselves or not. Anyway. I would like ice cream, but only if it's in an actual waffle cone. I don't like those little crunchy ones. They're weird. Deep roots to dig? I suppose. Maybe. Everyone's got a story, though. It certainly wasn't sheltered all that much. Maybe just a little bit. Yeah, that's definitely the name that I've been given from birth. Oh, for Pete's sake. Okay. Yeah, I know that when people say hot, they mean beautiful. Or at least that's how I've always interpreted it. Is that oftentimes it's just kind of the hip new lingo. But it means the same thing. Correct me if I'm wrong, though. A long stick to change the records? Ah, yes, but then I wouldn't stay quite so trim. You see, this is where a lot of my activity comes from. Up and down, up and down. Toned legs and all. Of course, vacuuming the house and, using the leaf blower to clear off the roof, which is a thrilling experience. So what was it like growing up in the 90s? I guess kind of like growing up in the 50s or 60s because my parents pretty much kept it like this back then too. We watched television though. I always wanted things like the Nintendo and the Sega, but they didn't get it for me. The reason why I got a PlayStation 2 when those came out, because in case you don't know, I had an Atari and then I had a PlayStation 2. That's how long I went without video games. It was because my brother, my older brother, who, funny enough, at the time was about 33, he bought it for me, kindly enough. And a whole bunch of games that I had been talking about. One of which was the latest Grand Theft Auto, Vice City. And so that turned me on to new wave music. And I played that game until it was completely unplayable. Oh yeah, you wanted the one with the lyrics. Hang on. Where is it? Where have I put it? No, it's none of those. Yeah, what was I saying? Did I play this one or did I play the other one? I don't remember which one I played. I completely I've lost track. I'm gonna play this one. I'm going to gamble that I didn't play this one. If I play the same record twice, I'll change it. Don't worry, I won't let it play out again. Find me a find, catch me a catch. That's funny. A catch, huh? Go on, go on. No, the speed's going the correct speed. It just sounds like that. Oh, it was great. And then the thing burned out, and I never really got any video games after that. I've just been a spectator ever since. I suppose 2009, 2010 is when the thing died. I wouldn't call it an obsession. It's a proficiency. It's always been around my entire life, so I guess I got an early start. So it's only natural that I would continue. Obsession. Half-Life 2? Is that the one where you can like buy things with a currency and it's basically it's basically real life but in a game? No, there's no other sides, dearie. No other sides whatsoever. You know. This is me just taking it easy and letting loose. Me comfortable and having fun with you guys, so no, there's no other side. There's work, Nicole, that, puts fun in games a little more to the side to get things done, but one does